Good day! In today's lesson, we will be dealing with a fiction from Greece, which is entitled Iliad, written by Homer. So there are three parts of Iliad. So we have the Apple of Discord, the battle between the Achaeans and the Trojans, and the wooden horse. So last time I asked you to read the story in advance. So let's recall what you've read by retelling the summary of the story. So note that the pictures I have used to illustrate the characters are not their real or actual pictures. So I just use them to stimulate your sense of sight. Now the epic battle had its root from the wedding of the sea nymph Thetis and the mortal Peleus. So at their wedding, all immortals were invited except Ares, the goddess of discord. So this made the goddess angry. That's why she made a scene by throwing a golden apple with the inscription, "For the Thetis." Many claimed to get the golden apple, but only 3 persisted. Hera, the queen of the Olympian goddesses, Athena, the goddess of wisdom, and Aphrodite, the goddess of love and beauty. To stop the brewing trouble, Zeus intervened and declared that Paris, the prince of Troy and the most handsome in the world, would act as a judge and would tell who's the fairest. So Zeus instructed the messenger Hermes to relay the message to Paris. So one by one, the goddesses secretly talked with Paris. So Hera promised him kingly power if he would choose her. And Athena promised to give him wisdom that would last forever. And for Aphrodite, she promised him that he could have the most beautiful woman in the world. Because of that, Paris chose Aphrodite. So she gave a ship to set off for Sparta, where he would see Helen, the most beautiful woman in the world. So upon reaching the Spartan shore, King Menelaus, husband of Helen, warmly welcomed Paris and treated him as a royal guest. However, when Menelaus left Sparta to go to a funeral, Paris took the chance to abduct Helen, who also fell in love with Paris. So they hurriedly left for Troy, where they were married and dreamed of living together for the rest of their lives. Because of this, Menelaus set to attack the city of Troy with the help of his brother Agamemnon. Other Greek heroes also helped in the battle, so the battle raged for 9 years. So the Greeks wouldn't be able to penetrate the city of Troy because of the very high or very tall walls. So what they did is they attacked the Chris, town that was allied with Troy. So there they captured Chryses and Brises. So Agamemnon took Chryses as his prize, while Achilles claimed Brises. So Chryses' father Chryses sent a plot to the Greek king to get her daughter back. So to end the plot, they should return her, stated by Calchas the prophet. So Agamemnon doesn't want to give back Chryses. Instead, he took Brises. So this made Achilles angry. So he asked his mother Thetis to seek the support of Zeus in favor of Trojans. Because of this, the Greeks suffered great losses. So Agamemnon was able to reconcile with his comrades when Patroclus, his best friend, died. So he was killed by Hector. So to avenge him, he went to Hector. He was able to kill him. He then tied his body to the back of his chariot and dragged it across the battlefield to the Greek camp. King Priam, father of Hector, pleaded to Achilles to return Hector's body, and he successfully got the body of his son. In the 10th year of the Trojan War, Odysseus, a Greek general, proposed to build a huge wooden horse and leave it outside the gate of the city. So they will leave the wooden horse as an offering to the goddess Minerva. So inside that horse, there would be 9 of their best warriors. Then, they did their plan. So some Trojans were suspicious about the wooden horse not until Sinon, a Greek captive, explained. So he explained that this wooden horse is to appease Minerva for stealing her palladium. So the Greeks had sailed home with the palladium but would return it in time. So Minerva would be pacified only when her sacred image would be returned to Troy. He also said that if they destroy the Trojan horse, Minerva would get angry. So Sinon was able to convince the Trojans and they brought inside the Trojan horse. So when the Trojan horse was already inside, they waited until night. So then when it's already time, they came out and opened the gate to let in their waiting comrades. So the Greeks were not prepared for this. Attack. Thus, it came the fall of the city of Troy. So we also have here the flashback. So Andromache, the wife of Hector, persuaded her husband not to go in war for the sake of their sons, Camandrius or Aschanach, which means the lord of the city. She told him that his courage will only destroy him. So she told him that all of her family was no longer beside her and Hector was the only family left for her. So she didn't want her child to be an orphan. So she begged and begged, but Hector still went into the battle because he believed that it was the right thing to do. So that's the end of the summary of our story. So I hope you've learned something from me today. Thank you.